another episode of Beyond the Mind with Ani. I'm your host, Ani, and today we are stepping into a conversation that is both deeply personal and quietly revolutionary. Reclaiming the feminine in a world that has always tried to contain it. From the fear-fueled witch hunts of centuries past, where wise, powerful women were silenced or burned for simply existing, to the subtle and almost invisible pressure women face today. Patriarchy has never truly let go. Its rules may have changed, but the whisper remains, the quiet judgment, the invisible barriers, and the message that you shouldn't be too ambitious, too loud, too independent, or the guilt when you finally choose yourself over someone else's expectations. Even in 2025, these old narratives still shape how we love, how we work, and even how we rest. They show up in relationships and careers, in the way we negotiate for ourselves or fail to. They whisper, "You must shrink," when your soul is ready to expand. Now, in this episode, we're going to peel back the layers. We'll uncover how these forces operate today, often in ways that we don't even notice. We'll dive into the ancient wisdom that survived centuries of suppression, the power that never died even when it was forced on the ground. And we'll explore how embracing the fullness of yourself, both your feminine intuition and your assertive, boundary-setting energy, can create balance, freedom, and real influence in your life. This isn't just theory. This is practical, actionable, and transformative. Because when you step fully into your power, you stop chasing permission, stop dimming your light, and start living a life that is unapologetically yours. Even with all legal and social gains women have fought for, patriarchy didn't disappear. It just got slicker, subtler, and almost invisible. Look around you. The workplace is full of microaggressions disguised as feedback. You speak your mind, you're too aggressive. He says the same thing, he's an assertive leader. You take parental leave, they whisper judgment. He takes it, commendable, progressive. Emotional labor at home or in relationships is expected and almost never recognized. And the script don't stop there. Single women, ambitious women, child-free women, society still says, "Why haven't you settled yet?" Or "When will you grow up?" Social media doesn't help. It glorifies a woman who has it all, but only if she smiles while juggling it. You post your career success, that compliments about your looks often overshadow your achievements. You set boundaries, suddenly you're too difficult. Even dating carries the echoes of old rules. Men are praised for avoiding commitment. Women are shamed for asking for it. And influencer culture subtly teaches women to monetize their emotions, their relationships, and even their bodies. Modern day echoes of diaries and social obedience. It is everywhere. Compliments, advice, memes, job interviews, dating apps, family gatherings. Patriarchy doesn't need to roar anymore. It whispers, and we often repeat the script without even realizing it. Let's talk about the illusion of empowerment. And then there's what we call empowerment culture. That beautiful Instagram ready, perfectly curated version of freedom. Be strong, be independent, you can have it all. Sounds inspiring. It does. But here's the catch. The glass ceiling are still there. Wage gap persists. Bodies are still policed, and society still judges women who refuse to fit in the mold. Empowerment, as it's marketed today, often comes with invisible strings. Look around you. Influencers showcase their careers, relationship, travel, and self-made success. We admire their hustle, their aesthetics, their confidence, but too often they're performing the same old patriarchal script. Compete with other women, be endlessly available, Always a smile. Package yourself in a way that is palatable to men, colleagues, and society at large. Post the right picture, say the right thing, measure your worth in likes, sponsorship, or followers. Monetize your emotions. Perfectly fine. But express your anger, call out the injustice, or demand real autonomy, suddenly you're labeled too much, too difficult, or unfeminine. And even modern feminism isn't immune to this trap. Lean in, they say, work hard, speak up, climb the ladder. Yes, absolutely, but don't disturb the system. Success is celebrated only if it fits neatly within existing power structure. Challenge the rules, step out of the script, suddenly you're a cautionary tale. Think about the female CEO whose bold decision threatens the status quo. Her assertiveness praised until it intimidates a male board member. And then she's called aggressive. Or the woman who refuses to smile or command in customer service, and she's told that she lacks charisma, or the influencer who posts her raw truth about burnout and receives backlash for oversharing while her perfectly curated posts are praised. The message is subtle but unmistakable. Freedom isn't natural. Empowerment isn't innate. It's a performance, and it's allowed only if it's packed, curated, and sold back to the patriarchy in a way that looks safe, digestible, and not threatening. The illusion of empowerment makes women feel like they're in control, while the rule of the game remains the same. And the question we need to ask ourselves is, whose freedom is this really? And at what cost does it come? Here's the part I love and maybe the most important one. The feminine that patriarchy feared never died. It was buried, renamed, shamed, but still lives in every woman who feels too deeply, knows without proof, or refuses to shrink. That ancient feminine energy, intuitive, creative, cyclical, magnetic, is everything the old system tried to suppress. Why? Because a woman connected to her body and intuition cannot be controlled. Reclaiming it doesn't mean running to extremes. It means to remember your rhythm. For example, your energy ebbs and flows for a reason. In ancient time, women's bodies moved in rhythms with the moon, a cosmic dance of creation, release and renewal. Menstruation wasn't hidden or shamed. It was sacred, a time to retreat, cleanse, and reconnect with the inner wisdom. The modern world called this PMS, and the ancients called that power. Or a modern dating teaches women to chase, to prove, to compete as if love is a game to win. But true feminine power doesn't run after it. It radiates, it attracts effortlessly like gravity. You don't need to audition for love to earn a place in someone's life. You are the prize. The energy that inspires devotion and not desperation. Or your anger, jealousy, fear, shame, they're not flaws to suppress. They're sacred messengers, portals to your power. Each one carries truth asking to be felt, not feared. The witches of the past weren't burned for being evil. They were burned for being whole, for embodying the wild, raw, and untamed feminine that no system could control. And about practice of spiritual activism. Use your voice, your compassion, your intuition as a weapon of light. Change doesn't always come from the loudest roar. Sometimes it's the woman who dares to feel in a numb world who shifts everything. From healers passing down secrets under threat of death to Christine de Pizan in the 15th century defending women's intellect against male philosophers, to modern healers, coaches, and artists reviving feminine wisdom today. Women have always found ways to preserve power when the world tried to silence them. And maybe that's the revolution we've been waiting for, not fighting to be like men, but remembering the power of being fully and fiercely female. Here's the truth that few talk about openly. The most powerful women today aren't the ones who reject masculinity, nor the ones who mimic patriarchy. The women who truly move the world are the ones who integrate both energies, who honor the yin and the yang within themselves. Because real power isn't about dominance, it is about wholeness. For centuries, women were taught that to succeed, they had to suppress their softness, to put a armor, think like a man, speak like a man, lead like a man. And many of us did tirelessly. Yet in doing so, we lost touch with something vital, our natural wisdom, the intuition, empathy, and creative flow that are the essence of feminine energy. And yet the opposite extreme isn't freedom either. Being purely feminine without boundaries or discernment, that is not liberation. It is saying yes when your body screams no. It is overgiving when you really need to rest. It is confusing attachment for love or surrender for self abandonment. Without the grounding structure of the masculine, the feminine can spill everywhere, turning into exhaustion, emotional chaos, or relationship that leaves you drained rather than nourished. The feminine is the current of life, nurturing, intuitive, creative, receptive. She flows like water, feeling deeply, sensing what is unseen, and connecting effortlessly with life around her. She dreams, she heals, she transforms through presence. She's the spark that creates art, life, empathy. And the masculine is the container. It is structured, focused, protective, and decisive. He sets boundaries, builds foundations, and chart directions, and brings vision into form. He is the energy that transforms inspiration into action, that grounds dream into reality. When these two forces meet in harmony, magic happens. You become both soft and strong. You can lead a team with empathy while still making tough decisions. You can hold space for others' emotions without losing your center. You can open your heart fully without giving away your power. You can chase your dreams without sacrificing your relationships or your well-being. True balance isn't about choosing one over the other. It is about letting your inner queen and your inner king rise together, fully embodied, intuitive yet decisive, nurturing yet assertive, radiant yet grounded. Imagine negotiating a deal with clarity and poise while sensing the unspoken needs of people around you. Imagine saying no to someone who drains your energy without guilt while still holding compassion. Imagine creating a business, a home, a life that feels spacious, alive, and profoundly yours. That's the power of integration, the dance of feminine and masculine within. Think of Jacinda Ardern. I love her. She is leading nations with compassion and strength, or Oprah Winfrey, who built an empire through emotional intelligence, or even women in everyday life, mothers balancing chaos and order, entrepreneurs combining creativity with discipline, lovers who know when to surrender and when to walk away. The feminine says, I feel. The masculine says, I act. When both work together, you become unstoppable, soft and sharp, grounded and masculine. And this is the part patriarchy never understood. A balanced woman cannot be controlled. She doesn't compete for attention or validation. She creates her own world. So the goal isn't to be more masculine or be more feminine. It is to remember that you already contain both. The queen doesn't choose between her crown or her heart. She rules with both. So, my lovely listeners, I want to leave you with few questions. How can you reclaim your feminine power in a way that restores your balance, your creativity, and your sense of aliveness? What expectations can you finally release? The ones that were never truly yours to carry, the ones inherited from culture, family, or fear. And how can you begin to honor your intuition, your voice, and your body without apology, without needing permission? Remember, it doesn't have to be loud, grand, or performative. Reclaiming often begins quietly, in the smallest and most honest choices. Maybe it is saying no to a relationship that drains you, even when you still love them. Maybe it is resting when the world tells you to hustle. Maybe it's allowing yourself to cry instead of keeping it together. Maybe it is choosing art, nature, or stillness over endless scrolling and noise. Or maybe it is finally wearing what feels like you, not what is expected of you. Or speaking a truth you have swallowed for a long time. Because every act of self-honoring, every moment you choose truth over compliance, authenticity over approval, becomes a thread in the new story we are weaving together. A story where power is not domination, but presence, where beauty is not performance, but essence, and where women rise not by imitating men, but by remembering who they are. Each time you return to your truth, you heal a little piece of the collective, the mother, the maiden, the witch, the warrior, all finding their voice again through you. And that's how we rewrite the story of what it means to be powerful, whole, and finally free. I want to leave you with this thought. The ancient feminine that patriarchy once feared is alive in you. She's not gone. She's just waiting for you to remember her, reclaim her fully, not through dominance, but through integration, wisdom and creativity, strength and softness, authority and grace. So I want to thank you truly for being here, for listening, and for questioning and for remembering with me. If this episode resonated with you, please like, share, and comment. Your voice helped this message reach more women who are on their own path of remembrance. And until next time, take care of your heart, trust your intuition, stay bold, stay fierce, and always go beyond the mind.